22 here, and I'm here for the reading for the Sagittarius out there for July 29th through August 5th. I just want to say thank you guys for all your support, and to my new subscribers, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. And always remember that these are general readings and they may not completely resonate with your situation. Okay, so let's see what's going on for Sagittarius for the week of July 29th through August 5th. I'm laughing, y'all, because this is really what's been going on. I'm not even kidding. The Six of Cups. Like, this is ironic because I speak for me. Even though this is not for this week, I would say this Mercury retrograde, y'all, it did bring two people from my past back. And one of them was someone I really thought I would not talk to again. But it was more of a soul knowing. And when I saw this person send me a friend request, y'all, I was like, wow. So, I'm just kind of, with the Six of Cups, for fellow Sagittarius, you guys could be experiencing the same. You know, I thought, usually during Mercury retrograde, y'all, I'll talk to y'all for a little bit. I don't really have the exes come in and out, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. But this one I did, but this one was different. I tell you why. Every Mercury retrograde is different in its own way. Mercury retrograde in Cancer, I have the South Node at 29-degree Cancer. I have my Chiron at 26 degrees Cancer. So this Mercury retrograde was hitting my past points. So depending on where your placements is too, with between the 23 degrees, I think, Cancer Mercury retrograde is happening, to about, it was like the 7th or so, like when it first started, 7 degrees of Leo, and then ending at 23 degrees Cancer. You could be feeling this nostalgia feeling, or you could also be experiencing, depending on how in tune you are, this person thinking about you. You see the signs, the synchronicities, and y'all, let me tell you, before this, before this particular one, it was my last partner that I haven't spoken to in 4 years. It's a very delicate situation. And most people would be like, oh, it's just a friend request. But if people knew how big this was, even for who this individual I'm talking about, there is some growth that's taking place here. It is. And you will be surprised. That's how I felt surprised. Like, wow, I never thought in a million years that I would even see a friend request, see anything of him. But it was just a soul knowing, like, bro, and I felt like I was going crazy because I've been seeing those synchronicities since 2018, y'all. Can you imagine how I feel, being in a whole nother relationship, and then you're seeing signs and synchronicities of someone from the past, and you don't know why for the life of you? It's like, why? Why this one person I keep seeing the same, the name, I kept seeing the show, and because it's the show Friends, and like one of the names on the show is the name of the person I'm talking about, and I kept seeing Friends, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I keep seeing Friends? Like, and I said to myself, oh, I believe it when I see it, because I was so used to synchronicities. I ain't even, every time I say that, the universe be like, whoop, see, you wasn't crazy. This was an experience to show you how powerful you are. And mind you, even though I just been doing this since April of last year, I'm still amazed at my own self. And maybe that's what you guys are feeling. Maybe you're having some signs of synchronicities, and the person that the last person you think will show up does, with the Six of Cups. But it's a heavy reminiscent energy here. And I could say this as a Sagittarius, this as happened. So don't be surprised if you hear someone from your past and they want a new beginning. Now, with the other person I was talking about was actually my first relationship. It was my first one. You know, we stopped talking 4 years ago, and this this reading is kind of on point. Like, this is really what's happening, is going into a new beginning, like healing those timelines, you know. And it's crazy to be in front of this person, you know, because that was the longest time we didn't talk. It was kind of more of an in and out. We'll try to be friends and then we can't, you know, because I'm just not the type of person to carry on feelings for that long. I'm just not. So to be in this position with someone from the past and going into new beginnings, Sag, don't be surprised. I'm telling you, I'm living proof, because I have two people that came back around a week from each other. Didn't think nothing of it, but all I'm saying, Sag, is there are some people from your past that do want a new beginning with you, and you may have multiple people. Because I'm one of those people that have multiple people. And then I had one of my old friends that was a girl, you know. That was the beginning of the Mercury retrograde, that she sent me a friend request. And then, oh yeah, I also connected with another girlfriend that I used to have, you know, girl best friend, back in the day too. So this was like 4 people. So I was like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Usually Mercury retrograde, I'll be in the clear, I'll be good, boom, dipping and dodging the past, but not this time. But I will say this, y'all, it's so healing. The conversations when you finally have it, and you can see how you don't talk to people for years, and it's like that person never forgot about you. And I used to think that people forgot about me because I was used to people leaving a lot. But one thing is, it's like when you have someone such as my first partner at the age of 15, even though we're in our almost 30s, to still say, like, you are an important person in my life. Like, I'm sorry that I never recognized or even asked you what you was going through. That growth, man, that King of Cups. These people are coming back growing. You'd be surprised. You may get apologies you never even thought you'd get. Because it's some growth with these people, Sag. So, it's going to be up to you. I feel like the universe is giving us the ball in our court to decide what we want to do with these people. You know, do we want to let it go? Or do we want to start over? Some may get back in relationships, probably after Mercury retrograde, and see can they work it out. Others may just form friendships, but there's definitely new beginnings, and the King of Cups, they're more stronger now than before. I know I kind of rambled a bit, but this reading kind of took me by surprise with how I resonate with it. So let's see why the 6 of Cups is here. Six of Cups. So we have the High Priestess. Look at that, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this goes into what I was saying, even my own situation. The signs, the synchronicities, the soul. You know, from a soul aspect, you are connecting with someone from the past. And if you are feeling their energy, Sag, you're not crazy. If you have been seeing these synchronicities, I was seeing synchronicities for almost a whole year, to the point that I broke down because I was like, why am I being tortured like this? It felt like absolute torture. I was like, why? Like, it happened, but a part of my soul just would not let me let it go. It's because it has a purpose, man. Let me tell you, even if you don't be with this person romantically, Sag, you are spiritually connected with someone. that you have a real strong soul connection with. And it's not one of those things, this is what I realized with this one person. Not my first boyfriend, but the other individual. Is it always happens by numbers. Like, the day I ran into him equaled 11, because it was November 11, 16, 7, and 2018, 11. You know, even when he sent me the friend request, it was the day that equaled 11, 7/19, 2019, that equals 11. So it's always been 11s and 7s. It's always been, and also it was on the same day that Mercury was conjunct my south node at 29 degrees on the same day, y'all. Can't make this up. So if you have a spiritual connection with somebody, they're not, it's a designated time. And this is what I feel is the most overlooked thing. A person can be ready all they want to, but nothing can come before divine timing. And I feel like this is time now. So if you've been that Sag that's been picking up on somebody's energy from the past, you are not crazy. Trust what your intuition is telling you, because they may even pop up in your dreams. That has happened too. You have a soul connection with this person, and it's real. I feel that it had to come to a place of maturity to handle this. I will say this. If it wasn't for my last partner breaking up with me, I would not be here. If I was still with him, I wouldn't have grown my gifts. It wasn't till me and him broke up, took some time, was single for a bit, met my partner that I've been with for 4 years, and being with him because he's a Pisces, that had my spiritual game like on a whole nother level that I wouldn't have gone through. So at the same time, even though it ended the way that it did, I can't say that everything didn't happen for a reason. I would not be on this YouTube channel. I would not have been doing tarot cards. So if you have gone through that Sagittarius, like if you guys have split, it was for a reason, because this person, you may not realize it, was taking so much of your time and away from your purpose. And that's what I realized. The universe wasn't playing some sad joke on me. It was, if anybody could get so much attention at that point in my life, I'm not talking about my partner now, but back then was my last partner. I was so invested. So I didn't even care what was going on with me. So that's why we had to break. We had to. It wasn't healthy. And when you have soul connections like that, the universe is not going to just let that happen, because you have to stay focused. And I feel that that person was going through, if this is you, if you relate to this reading, both of you had to go to a point of maturity. I also had to mature, because I look back on a lot of situations with past people, and I see how I could have been stepping on some landmines as well as they were stepping on my landmines. You know? So it's really that growth and maturity and being on path that the universe is now bringing this back and saying, you guys are mature, King of Cups. You guys can handle this now. And the universe this is why I haven't made any moves. A lot of people, if they was like in my situation, you be excited and you move too fast. I've learned from that. I've learned to like let it happen naturally. Even though there's many things I want to say, we haven't talked to each other. But that's fine. Because I worked so hard to get to where I am. Like, I worked so hard to, build myself, that being in this situation reminds me of how much I literally was so invested, and how much I needed him to step out my life. It's not easy to admit, but it's the truth. I had a whole other purpose, and through that pain of that relationship is what pushed me to be here with y'all. To really take my pain and to put it into something productive. Okay, let me wrap this up. Sorry, y'all, I'm still talking. Okay, so let's see why the Page of Wands is here. We have the 8 of Cups. And we have the Justice here. The universe, like I said, this is divine timing, bruh. This is. If you have a soul connection with somebody, it is a divine timing thing. It doesn't matter how much money you got. Was it this? Was it that? It's when it's divine timing. When things work out. That both of you had to walk away from each other to bring balance. Ain't that crazy? How you gotta leave to bring balance to a situation more than what you were when you were in it. To even have this new beginning. So Sag, if you want somebody from the past, the universe is giving you that opportunity. They're bringing them back around. And it's what you choose to do with it. If you choose to go forward in a relationship, that's your business. If you choose to keep them as a friend, that's your business. If you choose to not talk to them again, that's your business. But either way, we also got to keep in mind Saturn's retrograding too. And to me, I look at justice as Saturn as well, as like law and karma. Is bringing this back to give the opportunity and people having the choice, what do we want to do from here? So seems like Sag, you may have some decisions to make about these past people that's coming in. And I see why the King of Cups is here. We have the Death. Both of you has went through a transformation. This had to die to be reborn. And that happens. We do it all the time, you know. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. So at some point, a change has to take place. A transformation has to take place. Some things gotta die. But that doesn't mean they can't be reborn. We look at death as such a scary experience, and we're not realizing the beauty in it. You know, I saw this post that really touched me. It showed how in the hospital room, it was a cartoon, and they had the soul transitioning out of the body. But then they had like the soul fam that passed on, the ancestors, how they had their arms out. You know, so while the physical beings in this realm was crying, it was a reunion to the other souls on the other side. The same way as someone passes away, there's a birth. You see what I'm saying? So it's a process. And this is what this has went through, a complete transformation. And I feel that both of you are able to come to a place of maturity. They just didn't need to grow. So did you, Sag. And I say this to myself too. I needed to grow. I can't hold no grudges against nobody, man. I needed to grow too. Throughout that experience, I also started looking back like, whoop. And we have the Two of Pentacles, and I see why the Two of Pentacles is here. We have the Six of Pentacles reverse and the Fool. So after a time, see, because this is harmony in the midst of change. I always say that for this card. And you have the Six of Pentacles. The tides are changing for this experience, y'all. So I feel some people about to get that reconnection they really wanted. And all the other readings I said was somebody coming from the past. I didn't experience that. But this reading, I'm experiencing it. So I'm saying this stuff is definitely possible. It's definitely real. You're not going to see when it's coming. So things are changing in the physical. That unbalance of things that wasn't equal give and take is a new beginning of purity. Of looking at it with innocence. Of looking at the world through a brand new lens. Not to just dismiss it, but to accept that experience was needed for you and that person to grow and to let it be that. And if you really care about them still, Sag. See, another thing we could do is we could kind of be in our, in our ego a little bit sometimes. But if you really still care about this person, Sag, then you take that chance, period. And if you don't gotta tell the whole world about it, you only owe yourself that. If you know deep in your heart that you want to give this another chance, then you do that. If not, whatever, that's fine too. But I'm talking to the Sagittarius that still have a spot for this person. If you had that opportunity, which is here, and you really been wanting it, is here. But don't let those old emotions cloud it, and then you miss it and be like, dag, I could have explained myself better. Learn from the cycles that you went through with this person and learn how to deal with things differently. I say this to me too. How I come across, I may not feel like I'm sounding like that rough, you know? But to somebody else, it's not what I'm saying, it's how I say it, how I articulate myself. And as Sagittarius, we think we be saying, to other people, we could really be cutting deep, but to us, we're not. You know, we just be like, well, what's the problem? So that's one thing I had to work on. Like, sometimes I cut deep, and I had to realize how I was saying things could hurt somebody's feelings, even if I didn't think it did. So it's just about both people learning what has happened. So, Sag, I hope you guys appreciate this reading. I know I talk for a lot, but I hope even in the midst of that, that this message could help someone. So, I'll catch you guys next week.